Recorded live from a previously unfinished attic in downtown Monroe, this is Drawing Bigger Circles, where we dig into what's going on behind the scenes and out in the streets of our city, Monroe, North Carolina. My name is Stephen Stegall, and I'm the chairperson for Change for Monroe, and we're a grassroots organization that seeks to connect neighbors to neighbors through political engagement, civic education, and a myriad of community service opportunities. And always, I'm joined by my producer, and definitely have used this intro before, Kevin Daniels. I don't know. We're not very prepared for this.
Yeah, that was. I'm gonna. If I were to rate your intros, that would probably not even make the top 18. And we've done 18 of these.
Have we?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
a counter.
I was thinking around like 10 or something, but yeah, okay, 18. I'll take 18.
Yeah,
sure.
my math ain't great.
It's a good number. Okay, here we are again. We may or may not splice in some other previous recorded stuff, depending on how. I would actually like you to, because some of that stuff was like kind of heartfelt, and I wanted to say this to the community, but the Change from Monroe community anyway. Unless you just want me to like repeat my my blatherings.
Well, the second take is never as good.
Well, I can still express
as the guy who has to do all this fucking editing.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Pardon my language. I'm going to try to simmer down on the F words here. We gotta. There are kids listening.
Yeah.
There aren't.
We assume
there aren't.
No, there aren't. Okay, Kevin. We are almost. Well, I guess we would call it smack dab in the campaign season at this point.
Yep. We are right in the middle of the campaign season.
Signs on the street. That's what we call it. I mean,
early voting starts, I think, in about 3 weeks. Maybe.
Wow, that early. Man, I am way behind already. I have really lost a lot of time here recently, Kevin. Yeah. And there's just some, I'll tell you what, let me just rehash what I expressed in the other recording, so you don't have to even mess with that recording, Kevin. And I just feel like I kind of owe the Change from Monroe community a bit of an explanation about, kind of where I've been, if anybody cares, where I've been and what's been going on. As we all do, we kind of struggle with our own mental health and just energy levels and stuff like that. And every once in a while, we just need to retreat a bit. And I kind of felt the need to just pull back a good bit because of, just wasn't feeling it. And there was honestly, with everything that's kind of going on in the world, sometimes you just get overwhelmed. And I didn't, give any kind of explanation for it. And I just kind of like just disappeared for a bit. Basically it all comes down to a lot of feeling, pressure to say things that are, I've already used this word tonight, but poignant and, insightful, rally the troops, so to speak. And sometimes I just don't feel like I have it in me, and I don't feel like I have anything important to say. And there's just a lot of pressure to just put out good content for people that would like draw them to us and things. And I just, with the cacophony I know, there you go. Another, I don't know how many dollar words that is, but
COCK, is that how you spell that?
Yes, that's how you started off. Exactly. But yeah, there's, there's a lot of voices that we're all kind of like listening to nowadays, and like we doom scroll, and there's, plenty of personalities out there that are saying really good things. And honestly, I just didn't really feel like I had anything to add. And again, there are probably some chemical remedies that I need to look into in order to like make my, my mental health a little bit, more even, but, we just, we haven't really cracked that egg yet. So anyway, so if I owe apologies to people, this is my apology. Sorry. I will do better in the future. And I will say that one of the things that really, this is not the first time I've ever, I guess wanted to retreat from the world. I mean, that was the whole reason I kind of wanted to become a hermit farmer at some point, just because I really kind of got sick of, a lot of the horse shit and just wanted to kind of, be my own person and live off the land and all this other stuff. And it's not a realistic dream. People can make it happen, but it's a very hard thing to do. And you really spend a whole lot of time in your own head, and that's not healthy either. So, anyway, so the whole reason that Change from Monroe came about was through my own frustration for not stepping up and saying what I felt needed to be said when our outgoing mayor was campaigning and then subsequently being elected. And as soon as he won that infamous coin toss, I just went into like a bit of a frenzy, and I was just like, okay, went to Facebook, created a page, started inviting people, and here we are. So I didn't want to recreate that and feel like I didn't do enough during this election, because this is, in my opinion, we say this every time an election comes around, but this is probably one of the more important elections of our lifetime. Not necessarily, well, it is in Monroe as well, just for our own personal lives, but especially like nationwide and things like that. We really need to get the right people into office in order to kind of quell some of this chaos and just angst that everybody's feeling. And so anyway, so I'm going to, just reiterate, and then I'll pass it over to you if you have anything else to say. Sorry, Change from Monroe. I'll do better.
All right. I just want you to know that I was trying to find out the definition and look up cacophony.
Let me, is it a boisterous chorus of, loud noises?
I'm going to give it to you. A harsh, discordant mixture of sounds.
There you go. Okay.
All right. Often used to evoke macabre or eerie imagery.
There you go.
But the funny thing is that Google, when you don't know how to type a word, by the way, does not start with cock.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Will give you, did you mean? And my choices were cacophony, spelled correctly, Cacoffiny.
Okay.
Or did you mean cock funny?
Oh.
Yeah. So I think that goes back to the joke in Ted. I'm not gonna repeat it here, but we're trying to be a little bit classier this go around. Less cursing for me, less talking about penis for me.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see how long I can.
I may try and prompt you to test you that.
I absolutely. There's going to be a lot of type of imagery for folks at home.
Yeah.
But I want to second that. We all felt that way. We all feel that way. One of the things that folks don't understand is we have the moral high ground by volumes when it comes to the other side. They can get up there, they can make up shit, they can lie, and their followers just, okie dokie, now we're believing this.
Yeah, yeah.
And, for us to be stuck in this, I don't even want to call it a moral quandary because we never quand about things, but the idea that we are sitting here trying to put out, as you said, good information to people, making sure it's accurate and great, and we are not going to be leading the masses as easy, like if we wanted to just, hey, we're going to start, playing Pied Piper.
Yeah.
And so it does kind of wear on us because the more we have to do this, the more we have to look into stuff and the more we have to hear about all this nastiness.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of it is like, there's a, and it won't be this episode, don't get me wrong, but there's a certain amount of just preparation that kind of goes into each one of these episodes. I mean, and again, it's like we have had, you and I we've had, very animated discussions about the product that we want to put out, the way we want to present ourselves to people, and the overall trustworthiness of the things that we say into these microphones, or the way that we, kind of like talk to people in public and things. So, I mean, honestly, if we wanted to sit up here and just talk shit to each other, like, Alex Jones is, I could call people, like communists and talk about space lasers all fucking day.
All day.
Yeah. And, but, again, those people, so there are other podcasts I listen to, where they literally like take episodes of like, say it's Alex Jones episodes, and they will break them down and say, well, Alex said this day, but if we go back a couple years ago, Alex was saying the exact opposite thing now. Yeah. and they will say, this is why Alex is a piece of shit. and why he has no cohesiveness to his message. But this is also why his what would be a customer base, because he is bilking these people for money. His listeners, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
As long as the narrative keeps going and it's somewhat believable. And I've said this before, it doesn't matter what they say. The only thing that matters is that they're saying things.
Correct.
That it really, like, the content is just him babbling and making people feel good about the way they feel, or like, they've got all this rage and this discontent and this they've got to direct this hatred at somebody, and as long as that Alex is pointing that that cannon in the right direction, they don't give a shit that the narrative is cohesive, because honestly, they got memories of fucking goldfish. And so, they're not going to remember that, he was, talking about, what was that thing Obama did in Texas? It was like the...
Wore a tan suit.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. No, but it was like the war games that were going on, and like Obama didn't have anything to do with it ultimately, but it was like the army was conducting like basically war games with itself, more or less, with other branches of the military, I believe, in Texas. And man, they used that for months about how this was going to be the practice for like bringing, militarized police to the streets. And, I'd have to look it up, and I'm just, not really feeling like doing it right now. But it was a huge, conspiracy theory for the longest time. And now they've just totally forgotten about it. Now they see militarized people in the streets, and they're just like, oh yeah, this is what it's supposed to be. And Tim Pool said it the other day, and I don't want to go on a huge tangent or anything like that, but this drives me crazy. Tim Pool said it the other day. He was like, I get sick of people calling me a bootlicker because, I might be a bootlicker, but I'm the one wearing the boot. And that's all they give a shit about. They don't give a shit about the fact that like the boot is crushing people. They just want to wear the fucking boot. They want to be the fucking boot. And
ooh, that's a good bumper sticker.
Yeah, right.
Be the boot.
Yeah, so it's like it's not that they're worried about authoritarianism. They just want to make sure that they're on the right side of it.
Right.
They just want to be on the uppers of the authoritarian.
And I'm going to bring this back to, this is our issue with Burns and Ball.
Right.
When they sit here and they call other people rhinos.
Yeah.
Republicans.
Yeah.
In my world, when I was a Republican, when I was, conversing with Republicans, small government, that was their thing, is that they hated the government overseeing so much of their lives. And our mayor stood outside a public restroom with a camera.
Yeah.
For an entire day.
Right.
With a plant inside the bathroom to set someone up.
Yeah.
And that is not a Republican. That's not a conservative. That is the rhino. That is someone who is, I brought this up earlier, the Overton window, which is where politicians choose the policies they support based on where we slide.
Right. Yeah.
And that is a perfect example of,
it's the acceptable discourse.
The boot, then if the mayor's wearing the boot, if Ball's wearing the boot, then they're all for it. But we don't want them wearing boots.
So getting to our own personal elections here, there's been a lot of discussion, it seems like, on Facebook. Concerned citizens are asking what true conservatives are. Mm-hmm. And they seem really concerned about who rhinos are and things like that. Like, I could look it up and like read verbatim, but I'm not really going to do all that. If you guys want to, if you guys care about it, go to the Change for Monroe, or the What's Up Monroe page. And there's some discussions there about, the candidates that are coming up.
But that's what I was just trying to get to, is that like just calling someone something doesn't make it true.
Oh no, but that's the whole point of that's the point of this. So this person, they posted anonymously, and I'm assuming it was a woman. Like, I don't know why I got a female vibe from it. But it seemed like it was to me, just because of the verbiage and things like that. And I could be totally wrong. And
I thought it was a female.
Yeah. Okay. Good. It wasn't just me then. I want to say that there was some context clues in there too, but I'm just
there were some context clues, but also after you laid out everything that you're about to talk about now.
Yeah.
They came back and they were like, you know what? Thank you. This was very thorough. And so that's not man talk.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you imagine Burns saying that?
No, honestly, yeah. it's surprising to me that he strings together, two cohesive sentences at a time. But yeah,
him, AI.
yeah, right. Well, no, I mean, anyway, yeah. So, so the question from this person was basically like, they're seeing all these road signs out, and they want to know who the true conservatives are. And they wanted to, and part of and that was honestly, that's the most important part of the sentence. It kind of went on a little bit further and to some other stuff too, but it's not important, but they really wanted to know who the true conservatives were. And my comment to this person was like, hey, you're going to have to be, I think I may have been a little bit snarky with this. I didn't mean to be, but my comment to this person was, you're going to have to be more specific about what you mean by true conservative. Because,
I want to interrupt here just to tell you that
Yeah.
I'm watching Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And if you're familiar,
Yeah.
she's stuck in a bunker for 15 years, pretty much during the entire blow up of the internet. And she was like, what are you talking about, Titus? This guy said, wow, you're really great. You look amazing. And he's like, what did I tell you? That I have to read everything on the internet like Chandler Bing.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And so that's where you were like, it came off, you definitely came off snarky because when I read it, everyone is snarky.
And that's just part of the spoken or written word, I think. And two, it's part of Facebook because you just assume that everybody goes into it with a certain level of snark. Nobody is ever like
Nobody's
really genuine.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome. Yeah.
Well, actually,
Yeah. So yeah, this person comes back and their explanation for what a true conservative is, I'm gonna there's no way this person is listening, but I am gonna try to be diplomatic about this. But I'm gonna say it was a bunch of gobbledygook. And it was a bunch of kind of strung together, I guess you couldn't even really consider them policy goals. It was first off,
I'm remembering one now.
which one are you remembering?
Yeah, the gold standard.
God damn it. Okay, let me just say this right now, and I'm looking directly into my camera right now. Anybody who is talking about getting back on the gold standard, you can just immediately discount as an idiot. Money does not work like that anymore. We do not trade shiny rocks for possessions anymore. It just doesn't work. We are at a digital economy, and money is digital now. Even though we have paper that we pass back and forth just to play pretend with each other, everything is digital now. We literally create money out of nothing. And I don't know that there's enough gold on this planet, or maybe 10 planets like ours, to have the same amount of monetary equivalents for our economy is what, 6 to 7, maybe even $8 trillion a year at this point, right? The economy may be even more than that. That's what our budget is, if I'm not mistaken. I think the economy is more than that. I want to say, I'd have to look up what what is how much money is in the Fortune 500 or the stock market, the U.S. Just the U.S. stock market alone is probably there's more monetary value in that than the amount of gold on the planet. Gold can be a store for wealth, but it's in reserve, not necessarily reserved for the money, but it's in lieu of, I should say, U.S. dollars or petrodollars or any of this other like stores of cash. Go ahead, sir.
All right. So you specifically said total market value of the U.S. stock market. Let's just use that one. All right. What do you think it is? What was your guess?
I'm going to say probably in the neighborhood of say $30 trillion.
$69 trillion.
Okay. So I was off by
off
double.
You know what? That's a pretty big error.
Okay. And see real quick,
but the point is
you're faster at typing. How much gold, well, I don't even know how you would even word that. How much gold is in the world economy, maybe but yeah, it was while you're looking up. But yeah, this person, one of their value statements for what a true conservative is. Let's keep this in mind. This is not for a nationwide or even a statewide office. This is for the city of Monroe. This person wanted to have I guess the mayor of Monroe or even a city council member of Monroe, one of their policy goals or even I guess personality traits or something that something that would make this person like want to vote for this person, like their qualities or something like that, was to get us back on the gold standard. Do you realize how removed this person is from the actual like electoral process, like, you know, governing of the small city, all this other this person is unserious. This person is unserious. So how much gold is in?
Not even $1 trillion.
I mean,
now I will discount one thing you just said.
Okay, please.
Is that they were asking in the What's Up Monroe page, but they were asking about all the candidates up and down the ballot. So that would have included people who were running for Congress.
Were they really?
They didn't really specify. They were just like, hey, who are the real, true conservative? You know, they didn't get into which election specifically.
Well, okay, but let me push back on that a little bit.
I'm going. I mean, again, all of your valid points, and because I went through this when I ran, you know, years ago for county commissioners, that we had people coming up and saying, you know, like, oh my God, I'm voting for so and so because, you know, inflation's at 18%. No, it wasn't.
Right. No shit.
And they're running for county commissioner.
Right. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do about the 18% inflation that you think is happening in China?
Well, like we're here to like make sure that zoning and like building standards are kept, and like potholes get filled, and like, you know, like citywide infrastructure, like making sure that we, like, you know, have enough water coming in and things like that. Like again, maybe I did like kind of overshoot, but I was so just appalled by this. And I could go back and read some of the other stuff that this person did, but that was the one that really stood out to me as just like completely just ridiculous.
Well, and so let's go back to visit Rush Limbaugh and his gay frogs.
Okay, sure. No. That's Alex Jones.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Rush Limbaugh is feminazis.
Right. And dead.
Go ahead.
Alex Jones and his gay frogs.
They're making the frogs gay.
They're making the frogs gay.
Yeah.
Do you think that this was something that was heard there and just repeated without further thought?
Honestly.
And exploration? Because I feel like that's where we lose folks. Not lose folks, but that's where we cannot do that, because as soon as I say something, someone out there in TV land is going to fact check us and put a comment down and be like, dude, you fucking made that up.
Right, yeah.
And they don't have that problem. They just have loyal followers that just go off the cliff. So I'm wondering, do you think that that's the case here?
Could have been. And, you know, this person obviously, I think, you know, this person put together, you know, like they could obviously like construct a sentence, and they had punctuation and nouns and verbs in the right places. And so, you know, they weren't stupid. And I'm just going to use that word because I just like, but there was obviously, I'm trying to find this thing right now. That's why I'm kind of rambling, but, there's obviously like, they knew enough to like be able to like list these things, but I'm not even like so sure that they didn't just like chat GPT this shit and just pick a la carte.
Oh yeah.
You know, a la carte from these things and be like, oh, that sounds good. Oh, that sounds good.
I mean, it's a fair question asked with good intentions until you ask, well, what do you mean by conservative? And then it starts to get hinky, because I'll tell you that if you were to bring that up, those issues that were said, oh, a true conservative feels this way,
right? That
you would find another true conservative that thinks differently on those issues.
Well, so that's the whole reason for bringing this up, was the fact that like people use catchphrases and buzzwords and just sloganeering and stuff like that. And it
like cacophony.
Yeah. No, not even like cacophony.
But, that was a joke.
Yeah. No
one knows that word.
Oh,
everyone out there listening had to look it up.
That's not true. We have some smart listeners.
I think I'm a smart listener, but I still had to look it up. That's not an everyday word.
I'm really, I thought this would like come up quicker.
No, it's not. There's been
like,
a lot in there. So.
It really has. It's been pretty crazy.
Anyway.
But so some of the things were what I would consider to be like right wing issues, I'm having
stances.
Stances, I guess. But it was like I I don't think that they use the phrase like family values or anything
No.
like that, which is like, you know,
Buzzword.
obviously code word for no gays.
Right.
But it was, America First. That's what
Yeah.
it was. And then it was like but they also talked about having I want to say it was like isolationist foreign policy, which is, again, like those are kind of similar, but not really. Oh, I know what it was. It was isolationist foreign policy, but they also wanted free trade.
Right.
And which is, to me, that's a complete contradiction.
Correct.
And a person who doesn't understand that doesn't need to be asking the question about those things or putting those things out in the world, saying that this is the things that I value, because you obviously don't answer. You don't understand the economy. You don't understand our economy. You don't understand the where we like stand in the world as like one of the world superpower. You don't understand like why America is the monetary, like why the dollar is the monetary standard for the world. You don't understand that like what good that does for us. Like the fact that I was listening to somebody, economist, the other day say that the fact that the dollar is the standard denomination for the entire world. Every loan that you have ever taken out, or every loan that anybody has ever taken out, you get from a 0.25 to a 0.5% of a better rate, because we are the dollar, because the rest of the world uses the dollar, and that's a volume thing. That's why Walmart can charge lower prices than your local mom and pops, because we just have we are the king in that respect, and everybody has to come to us to use the dollar in order to do like business in Africa. They use USD, and so that's
USD.
yeah. But anyway, I've gone back so far in this, and I'm still not being able to find it. But
I think.
But anyway, and then so yeah, again, like so. This is part of my frustration that we run up against here in trying to do politics on such a small scale and trying to stay small, is because we want to concentrate on local issues, but honestly, like the way that politics is nowadays is like there's no room for local issues. It seems like, because people just want to, like, they only know what abortion. Well, it used to be gay rights, but now it's just trans rights, because people are just scared of trans people so much.
And guns is now questionable too.
Guns, yeah. I mean, everybody.
But that's what I wanted to create the market for.
Of course.
Is that when you have 17% of the population showing up in an election,
Abysmal.
we got to find out what the 83%, cares about. And if they're not showing up in these elections, it's because those issues are not on the ballot. You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
Burns tried to change that. Burns tried to put all of those national performative policies that,
Right.
don't matter to anyone but, the news anchors that report on it. You know, he tried to put all of that front and center and make life in Monroe about all those issues. And he failed. He got his headlines. He was in the news. He made his speeches.
I just found it. Yeah. Go ahead.
But the whole point is that we are trying to explain to people that when you vote for the mayor, you're not voting for someone who is going to work on free trade.
It's so,
So why would you come to a town hall and listen to a candidate spout on about bullshit?
yeah.
That doesn't matter. And that's what Burns and Ball, and I'll tell you, well, we're going to get to probably candidates later, but that's the point, is that you want to talk about, national issues, everything filters down. But at the same time, the mayor is not going to be setting tariffs.
Right.
So I don't need to talk to him about how he feels about
His
NAFTA.
His attitude towards tariff doesn't mean shit.
Doesn't mean shit.
I mean, he could, again, and like as a lefty, we could look towards a candidate that we feel good that would be for Monroe,
Yeah.
and would probably hold some of these conservative values that this person speaks about, and that would be okay. I mean, at this level. Now, again, like as a as a a jaded lefty who has probably at this point left the Democratic Party even. There are just certain issues that like I just know that aren't going to be fulfilled, and I have to swallow a lot of fucking just pills that I don't.
But there's the element that we want to get at is what was the point of the war on trans people that Ball and Burns kept pushing?
What was the? I'm sorry. Say that one more time. What was the? Yeah.
What was the purpose?
Yes.
Of their war on trans people?
What was the purpose for their war on trans people? Was to like.
What was their goal? I should say.
The all ages drag queens.
No,
I mean all ages drag shows.
No, that was drag. Okay, so when it comes to their war on trans people, what is their goal? Eradication?
Oh yeah, sure,
Killing?
sure. Sorry, I was
Camps?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the point. Is that we cannot sit there and say, you know what, trans lives matter, but I'm willing to vote for a mayor who doesn't really care about that because they're not going to really make decisions about that because it is such a dangerous take. And the more people that fall in line with, and again, just go to What's Up Monroe and see all the people sticking up for Ball and Burns, and you'll see all the people that are going to be willing to hang their neighbors out to dry.
Yeah.
But we should not, again, that's not an issue. If he shuts up about that issue and stops trying to recruit people to his army of eradication, then we get to talk about other issues that are more important to Monroe.
Yeah. Well, so going back to this person's comment, which is like, they want to, part of the, and I forgot about this part of it, what it was is they wanted okay, so this is the comment. Are any of these conservative Republican candidates that are anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, that actually represent true conservative values and won't fall in line with the BS? So my question to this person really was trying to get to the point of like saying, okay, the people that call themselves true conservatives at this point are 100% MAGA. Like, so you're basically asking for someone that is a true conservative but anti-MAGA. Those people are going to call you a rhino. So these buzzwords and these like monikers that everybody wants to put on each other, they don't mean shit.
They don't.
They really don't mean shit. And so that's why, like in these elections here in Monroe, North Carolina, we need to know about like how you're going to bring jobs to the city.
Yeah.
And in this person's explanation about what they consider to be a true conservative, there was nothing in there about jobs. There was nothing in there about like making sure that like I mean, even I would have accepted public transportation.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a huge fucking issue. And it's something that like, we've tried to do in Monroe and just haven't been able to pull our shit together for one reason or another. And again, those are issues that you can bring up to people and be able to do something about. So I'm all for you.
Focus, people. That's the lesson today. Focus.
Yeah.
Focus on what's important and stop.
So anyway.
Stop using ChatGPT to come up with your ideas.
Or, stop looking at like national politicians and expecting those people to be the same people that you're going to elect to these. I want fucking nerds. I want pencil pushing, like bean counting nerds.
Absolutely.
In every position and if you want to have some demagogues in like statewide politics or even national politics and stuff like that, fucking go right ahead. I mean, because we need some people out there that are going to like say some like outlandish shit and maybe push that Overton window that you're talking about and like, really kind of like test the boundaries of where our ideas can go. Because we do need some of that, but not here. Not in this town, not in this city. We need people that are going to like fucking just keep the goddamn the budget balanced.
Yeah.
And again, like
who can't do that?
Michelle Ball. And fucking Robert Burns, for that matter.
Holy shnikes.
Goddamn. Or Dotson. I don't even think Dotson. Well, okay, I will take that back. I see Dotson as a much smarter than Burns.
Yeah.
And honestly, the only reason that like Burns was able to do anything that he was able to do is because he had like a person like Dotson to be like, nah, that's kind of dumb. You probably shouldn't do that. But obviously Burns ain't going to listen to jack shit anyway. So
I was having a conversation recently with someone who shall remain nameless because they don't want to be associated with me. But they're on the other side of the aisle, and we were talking about these wackos, that are running Monroe. And one of the points that he brought up was he really did like Dotson. And I said, you know what? Dotson might have been a great mayor if he had hitched his fucking wagon to Burns.
I told him that in the very beginning too. I don't know if you remember this.
I do
but I sent
remember
him
that.
an email, and I was like, "Look, the worst thing you're going to possibly do is I think I even used that phrase, was hitching your wagon to this guy."
Because, I mean, it's not good for business for you, because now you have to keep up this pretense, but you're like, wait a minute, I have good ideas. And we already are like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Well, you've shot yourself in the foot at this point.
You did. You're done with us.
Yeah.
We can't forgive you and say, oh,
No.
well, maybe let's look at this again. It's like, nope, sorry.
Yeah.
Peace out, homie.
So yeah, it's at this point, like I say, and I honestly, man, I don't know that that Dotson has ever used any kind of like phraseology about like America first, or I think at one point he calls him like in a city council meeting. I do remember him calling himself like a constitutional conservative or something like that. Which, I mean, I guess
Again, made up monikers.
it really kind of is, man. I mean, because like I'm all for the Constitution too, because I don't want people kicking in my fucking door. So, I mean, to call yourself somebody who, but again, excuse me, I just burped there.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one's for free. But again, like, there are, I don't know, is court precedence constitutional at this point? Would you consider that? I'm not a lawyer by any means, but
No.
would like Roe v. Wade be considered like I mean, there is like a constitutional protection that Roe v. Wade offered, but I don't know if you would consider that like, say, that's in the Constitution.
No.
I don't think that would be it.
I would not.
But point being is like, there's plenty of shit that we especially like court cases and things like that we like thought were settled law that these people don't mind questioning.
Right.
So when you say I'm a constitutional conservative, I mean, I would assume that you would like say, okay, well, that's a settled matter. We're not going to go back and rehash that. But that's bullshit.
Correct.
Yeah. So, and now it seems like we're rehashing the fucking Second Amendment at this point.
Second Amendment, First Amendment, Fourth
Amendment, the 10th, and I mean, hell, at this point they're probably going after the fucking 14th.
I kind of look forward to the Third Amendment being violated, because
Which one is that again?
that's I think that's the one where I don't have to house troops.
Yeah, you may be right.
So
Yeah. Fourth is illegal search and seizure. Second, we know that the first is freedom of speech and all that.
I once saw a comedian that was like, it's really strange to see people out there, especially, the homosexuals, when they're like all about the Second Amendment. Is like, what? Is there a group out there that's very passionate about one of the other amendments?
Right.
Like the Third Amendment?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like out there protesting, like, no troops in my home, no troops in my, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But my wife is an amazing cook. When the army does come by and take over our house, it'll be Korean food, but it'll be fantastic.
Yeah. You could probably throw kimchi at them.
I cannot.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Too spicy. So one of the things that we kind of started to touch on and dance around was last night there was a candidate forum for the primary.
Yep.
And not all the candidates who were on the ballot were there. This was for the primary so that people could get through the primary, with, I think, the exception of Saluda. Councilwoman Anthony was there, and she doesn't have a primary.
Right. Yeah. She's
So she was just there repping.
she's not up for election this year.
She was just repping.
But she is up for mayor though. She's running
Right.
for mayor.
But I'm saying this.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
This candidate forum was more about the primary.
Right.
I'm sure we'll see more about the general election coming up. So last night was not fantastic. Burns' big beak was there. He walked in front of the camera a few times and blocked the view for us. But, one of the notable absentees was Michelle Ball. And, I'm just going to say it. It's you guys remember Addams Family? You know, I think it was the second one when they go to summer camp and they're like, okay, who wants to jump in the water and play the victim? And she's like, I will. And then Wednesday looks at her and says, all your life. You know what I mean? And that's kind of it. It's like, no matter what we say, she's going to be like,
where's my fainting couch? She carries her fainting couch.
You know, like she's going to be online after, you know, and be like, I was very ill that day. I had strep throat or whatever it is. Yeah. Okay. Fucking whatever. Don't care. So you're the victim. But she wasn't there. And one of the points that I thought was cleverly made by me was she's a one-trick pony who could not answer a single question about any other topic.
No, absolutely
If you go back, and she was bragging online about, like, I have been to every council meeting and spoken for the last 3 years about one thing. And you're wrong about that one thing.
Completely.
And like, not even close.
And I may even, like, I probably have gone into it on another episode, one of our, we at 18. One of our 18 episodes, I think I probably have gone into that, but I really do think that I need to reiterate that point for people at some point because it's just nonsensical.
It's false.
It's and it's almost to the fact that, like, a lot of what we're going through nowadays with this, like, illegal aliens and things like that. Like, I just want people to understand that you are more likely to be killed by a police officer in this country than you are by an illegal alien. Like, that is a fucking fact. Statistically, illegal aliens, even though that there are, these high profile cases where, like, you know, and I think Lake and Riley is one of the names that, come to mind, but, and they can always, point to whatever the Ukrainian girl is. I don't know why they bring her up because she was killed by a black citizen. Like, he was a black man on a train or on the tram or whatever it is.
Yeah. Do you think that's why they bring it up?
No, but I'm saying, but they bring that up as like some kind of like gotcha with like the Alex Preddy and all this other stuff going down. Like, it's just, it's nonsensical. But again, nobody's ever accused a MAGA, Republican of being reasonable or smart or.
So anyway.
Yeah.
The idea is that it's a one trick pony.
Yeah.
And that trick is a complete lie.
Yeah. Absolutely. Top to bottom.
So if she had gotten up at any of these council meetings and talked about taxes once,
right, or
zoning issues once,
any of it.
But if you want to know why she was absent last night, that's what the questions were going to be about. Mm-hmm. I didn't watch it. Sorry. I had better things to do. I was flossing. And if you've seen my mouth, you know that's why. But the idea is that I wonder how many of those questions were about drag shows last night.
I mean, I would, just hazard a guess.
I'm going to go 0 to 0.
I was going to say no.
There were probably 0 questions about that because it's a made up issue and serious candidates know that. Mm-hmm. If you're running for office in Monroe, I don't want someone who agrees with me on every issue, but you better be freaking serious. Yeah. And take it seriously. Yeah. And that's a friggin' Joe candidate. And Burns throwing Dotson under the bus like this to make him take that loss.
Oh, my God.
I want a serious candidate, and I'm going to say it. Come at me, bastards. But as soon as he put on that stupid white cowboy hat.
Oh, my God.
That was the last straw of you are now a joke.
Yeah.
You went from I'm not taking you seriously to punchline.
It is like, it is such just like.
So insane.
It's pandering to the highest degree. I mean, maybe we're completely wrong about this guy, and he has actually, roped some steers at some point.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
Or like,
is that why they're recording the bathrooms, trying to rope some steers?
Damn. Or I just cannot imagine this dude has ever fucking worn a cowboy hat.
All right, so I have, when I get to it, I'm going to have the sample ballot pulled up for us.
Okay.
For this upcoming primary.
Okay.
And I would like to talk to you about, because I thought Can
you send that to me real quick?
Just ncsbe.gov. Everyone at home, ncsbe.gov.
Got it.
All right. Then you go to voter search, type in your own name. If you have a very common name, then you might need to actually pick the county.
Is it the how do I? Oh, voter search. Got it.
Nope.
Voter search is a little tab,
It's a button. Yeah. Well, right there at the.
and then it asks you for some personal information.
And then it wants your first and last name is all you need.
Oh, that's it? No year of birth or anything like that?
I mean, you can if you want to narrow down the search, but how many Steven Seagals are out there? Oh, shit, I said your last name on here.
Damn it. I already did. It's fine.
Yeah. But in case anyone's wondering, this is also where you can look up other people to see, what their district or what their precinct is. So if someone comes up to you and says, oh, your podcast was great. Barb told us about it because she's our primary listener. Her and Meg, I think, are the ones. I tell you what, if either of those two ladies ever win the lottery, I think our viewership will start to pay off.
Yeah.
But those two ladies, someone comes up to you and says, oh, I was listening to this on a podcast, and I don't even know if I'm able to vote in Monroe. That's how you can tell them to look themselves up. ncsbe.gov. And type in the name, and there you go. It has your precinct, your congressional district, Senate House, et cetera, et cetera. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see your voting location.
Hey, there's me.
And there's you. You'll see your voting location. I happen to vote at Mount Carmel Church, Precinct 7. And then if you scroll down slightly further, it'll say your sample ballot. And I'm unaffiliated, so I get two choices. I can pick the Democrat or the Republican. Since I have a very, very specific goal, which is not private. I mean, I love it when Michelle and Burns and all them go online and they're like, they're changing their registration to make sure. Yeah, you're fucking horrible people. I don't want to see you in the general election. I can't risk another coin flip.
Well, not only that, but like the hypocrisy of these motherfuckers who would like basically rig the entire system in their own favor and then get pissed off when somebody else does it.
Oh, we went up to...
Can I just be clear one more time, looking straight into the microphone? Eat shit.
Don't look into the microphone. Look into the camera.
Oh, the camera. Sorry.
Yeah.
Eat shit.
Eat shit. You go up there. You're the ones who forced this HB3 shit through. So, all right. So, fun fact.
Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. In 2018... the General Assembly, for those of you who don't know, the General Assembly makes the election laws for every county and city across the state. All right. So it's not blanket. So things in Mecklenburg can be different than Union, can be different. It's different. And then even in the cities, it's different from city to city to city. And they can pinpoint, we're going to do this and we're not going to do that. For example, the General Assembly made the school board elections in Union County partisan because we are a red county. So they want people to walk in there and make sure they know they're voting for the R next to the name. But in Mecklenburg, it's a blue county. So their elections do not have the party next to the name because they want Democrats to accidentally vote for Republicans.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, this was a very effective thing in 2021 when four people... I want to say it was it Marion Holloway ran for mayor with Julie Thompson, James Carr, and Gary Anderson.
Yeah.
And Monroe is a blue city.
Yeah.
They ran on a platform. They never mentioned Republican. They never mentioned conservative. They were not red wall. They just, hey, we want to do this. They were just running as candidates without a party affiliation, and they won because their ideas were very popular.
Or, they were popular people at least. I mean, I can't,
I didn't vote for anyone for prom queen that year.
Yeah.
So anyway, if we get down to, now I've given you time to pull up your ballot. Stephen, you have your sample ballot here.
Holy shit. Is Michelle Monroe really running for U.S. Senate again?
Yes. It's not again. Didn't she run for, wasn't she education?
I
think she ran for education chair last time around.
Okay, yeah. No, it was, but I'm just saying, like, wait, okay, yeah, that's right. I did know this because she was because it was up against. I'm losing his name right now, but anyway, Jordan maybe something like that. Isn't that who are anyway?
It was a long time ago. I've drank a lot since then.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that was what she ran for. Now I guess that's for U.S. Senate.
All right. So we're going to skip down to. We're just going to talk about City of Monroe.
Okay.
All right. So you have the Republican ballot pulled up or the Democrat ballot?
I have the Republican ballot.
All right. We have the Republican ballot. That's the one we're going to be working with today. City of Monroe mayor, you have two choices. David Dotson. I didn't even know his first name was. I don't think I've ever called him anything other than Dotson.
I had to like, as I was typing, some explanation the other day,
Yeah.
I had to like, was it David? Is that right? I was like, had to like play it out of my head, and I had to like, yeah. So it's David. Yeah.
And Pat Kale.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to let you go first of these two candidates. Who are you voting for and why?
Definitely going to vote. Well, go ahead.
If you don't want to give away,
Yeah.
who are you going to be recommending or supporting?
Oh, sure.
Whichever
I see.
one.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
to say who are you going to be voting for.
I don't mind saying that.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
no, I'm not going to keep it a secret.
no,
myself.
no. I'm voting for Pat Kale.
Okay.
And it just.
Oh shit.
Just yeah, I know. Right. Yeah, you forgot.
I forgot to do the shot. Yeah.
So I'm an independent voter, and so I'm going to, when I go in, I'm going to ask for the Republican ballot, and I'm going to vote for Pat Kale for City of Monroe in the primary.
In the primary.
At that point, I may change my mind when it comes down to, I think it's going to be Serluda, Pat, and I don't think there's going to be any write-in candidates or anything like that.
I don't know about any unaffiliateds.
Right.
They're getting signatures now.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, there are unaffiliated candidates
Yeah.
in Monroe right now trying to get signatures just to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
If you sign their petition, you do not have to vote for them.
Yep.
It's just offering more choices to people who thought that HB3 was a lot of bullshit.
Right.
So we're just talking primary right now.
Yeah.
We're not even talking general stuff. We'll talk about general stuff when general stuff comes up.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Pat Kale is who I'm going to vote for. Honestly, no shade against Serluda or anything like that. Serluda's a very nice person and has served the city well. But honestly, at the end of it, I probably will be voting for Pat Kale all the way through, to the general election. So because she's a much more experienced candidate. We've talked about why we, just detest, David for, just a myriad of reasons. Kale is, she was the president of the Chamber of Commerce. She's ran, several businesses in the past. I think her and her husband, had a Hallmark store here in town, if I'm not mistaken, or several Hallmark stores around.
Hate their movies.
Yeah. And then she is also I want to say I can't remember the title, but she's basically the sitting chair for the South Piedmont Community College. So she's on, so point being is that, and I made this comment to David on his Facebook page the other day.
Oh, now he's David.
Yeah, we're on first name basis.
Didn't remember his name a minute ago, but now he's
right.
David.
Yeah. He calls me asshole, and I call him David.
You're both right.
All right. You mind grabbing me a beer while you're doing that? David was basically saying that, like, okay, some of his policy goals were going to be to be trying to. I think the only difference that or the only wrinkle that he was adding in is he was going to be using city property to do these things, but he wanted to have, like, I guess they were going to just be like job expos or something like that. But he wanted to do, like, some community building where he was, like, basically going to be having he was going to be trying to, like, partner up with businesses and employees and try and just be some sort of liaison between the two or something like that.
Kind of like a chamber of commerce, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like Pat's been doing this for like 30 years, dude.
Yeah.
Like, again, just like Burns knew he was outmatched and that's why he skedaddled, with his tail between his legs. Dotson just doesn't have, I mean, he just can't stand up to this lady's experience. I just, there's no way. I mean, I don't see that he's got a snowball's chance in hell. So you go, I mean, I'm assuming you're going to probably tell me the same thing, but if you.
I am. My reasons are very similar for why I'm also choosing Pat Kale in the primary. And I'll tell you that there's, it's more than just, when this race started, Pat's name was mentioned last spring, as like a possible choice against Burns, which we were all very excited about. And
in the cacophony.
She
was popping up in the cacophony.
In the cockfunny. And so we're sitting here and we're kind of trying to do the math on stuff, like if she entered the race as a Republican candidate.
Right.
and Saluda and Franco and Pat and Robert were all there, what that would look like numbers wise. And then HB3 came around.
Right.
And I can't help but question if HB3 was put up there to try to get her out of the election.
Oh, sure. All of
because once she was in the election,
right,
he knew he would lose the primary. So it didn't make sense for me, in my mind, I should say, for him to force a primary that would automatically put him out of the race.
Yeah.
His only chance was to have a 4-way candidate run.
Right. Yeah.
And,
well, that's why he won last time.
His idiots, outnumbered. Well, he won last time because we also sat back on our heels.
Yeah,
I'm going to say, I made this comment today on Facebook that someone was like, well, why are you, why are you going after Michelle so much? Because we didn't go after Burns last time.
Yeah.
And it was, I'll tell you, Burns did one good thing for this city. We became friends.
Hey, this was probably, I don't know, a little bit self-indulgent, but I think I sent him an email one time. It was just like, you're my, I think you're my Joker, the Batman type thing. And I was like, I don't really know which one I am in that situation.
And yeah, we're, again, that goes back to the intro, where we're still fighting. Are we Joker? Are we Batman?
Right.
Do we have the mental capacity to be either? But, so then, when that came around, so at first it was like, well, we're anti-Burn, so we're obviously, and so then I started to really look into Pat and talk to people and look, and it's amazing how many people on both sides of the aisle support her.
Very much so.
Again, if you want to go back to Change for Monroe and what our first few conversations were about, they were about drinking beers. But the next few conversations were about uniting the city.
Yeah.
And getting rid of candidates that were just going to be divisive all the time.
Right.
And Pat being supported by both sides of the aisle, I felt was a true testament to her character. So I did really look into her instead of like, okay, well, if Burns is out, which, Burns is out, then maybe I'll get the Democrat ballot instead of the Republican ballot.
Right.
But here we are.
Well, and going back to like what I was saying earlier about the nerds and the bean counters, like Pat Cale she's a nerd. She's a bean counter.
We mean that with love.
I'm very affectionate. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love nerds and I love bean counters. Like those people keep the fucking like the tires on the car going. Like they're the they're the caution lights on your dashboard that say, hey, you probably need to put a little bit of air in that tire on that front left tire, before you get going down the road. They're the people that like are just kind of checking the dipstick before we go on a long journey or something like that. I mean, they're like, and again, Burns is not that. Burns is the demagogue that I was talking about, and I told him again. I keep referencing conversations that I've had with these people because it is me trying to like at least if nothing else, I always thought Burns was going to be going to a higher office somewhere, and I wanted him to remember my face when he was up there like demagoguing like he is. He is a fucking demagogue, and again, we have room in our political apparatus for people like that. As much as I don't want to admit it, they do motivate people. They do get people to just show up and give money, and that's what that's fucking the fuel that makes everything go. But again, Pat is that I don't want to I use this term lovingly, Pat. She is that unremarkable candidate that's gonna keep these the wheels on the truck, and make sure that the cargo is strapped down, and all that other good stuff. So there you go.
All right. So that's one.
Yeah.
All right. Now in the next one we have I'm gonna split them up to how they are. I don't want to say caucusing. No, but caucusing in our minds.
Okay, no. So just so you know, I don't know if you've noticed the big sign that's on the. It's where the Victory Shoe is, right there in downtown Monroe. Like this is the first time I've seen it. This is the first time I've seen it. It's right there. Oasis is next door to that.
Yep.
So the first time I've seen it, Carr, Anderson, and Thompson all have a big sign together.
Oh,
It's the very first time I've seen it. It's huge. It's like probably 25 feet long by like, I don't know, 8 feet tall. I mean, it's the biggest sign that they could possibly have fit on the side of this fucking building, and it's huge and red, and like I forget exactly how they phrased it, but they're all three of their names are on it on the very same sign, so they're definitely caucusing together, and they're trying to like it said reelect, I think,
okay.
the three of these people. So
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Slate who caucuses together or stays together. So then let's, rather than break them down individually, should we do 3 by 3 or, okay. We're going to do 3 by 3, but we are going to talk about them individually because Gary Anderson, James Carr, and Julie Thompson are on the council today.
yes,
And they're running for re-election. You gave away the spoiler with your sign story, but they are running for re-election.
yep.
Would you like to go name by name or just whip it out and start going?
I mean, we can just we can just talk about them in blocks if you want. Because honestly, I don't. I mean,
In the primary, those three have my support for obvious reasons.
yes,
We need
Gary Anderson, Michelle, or Gary Anderson, James Carr, and Julie Thompson are the sitting council, and yes, that's who I will be voting for in the primary.
And the biggest reason is obviously to make sure Michelle never sees the general ballot.
Right.
Because we can't risk a coin flip. We can't risk this nonsense again.
No, we have to stop.
Have to stop this from happening through elective means.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like at this point, if we defeat Michelle Ball in this primary election, I think she might move out of town.
Yeah.
I mean, really do.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, I am like, I'm hoping that we just never see her again. And that would just be, move back to Indiana with the rest of your people and just, fucking bother them.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Oh my God, please, for the love of God. So,
And this other person, since we're moving to them,
I'm not moving.
Okay, go ahead, go.
No, I get to talk.
Oh yeah,
You
you're
talk,
good.
then I
know,
talk.
I know.
You
That's
talk,
right.
then I talk.
That's how it works.
I'm going to say that block of candidates, folks, voting is public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
You get the candidates that get you closest to your destination. If you're going to sit here and look at these candidates and say, well, I don't like this person because they part their hair on the left.
Tell them about the car.
You're not
Talking about the car analogy?
car doesn't work yet.
Okay, sorry.
All right. So we are using public transportation to try to get our candidates that are into office that are going to get us closest to our destination.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to do something unique. I'm going to tell you that I'm voting for Gary Anderson, James Carr, and Julie Thompson. But I'm going to tell you that I am very disappointed in the homeless ordinance that they passed.
Yeah, very much so.
They passed with a consensus vote without even a conversation. And many of them were surprised afterwards.
That was a no, it's not a consensus.
Not a consensus vote. What is it called?
It's shit. It's basically the thing that like they don't even talk about it during during the meeting.
It's on the agenda.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, all these 30 things we're not going to talk about. We're going to vote on 30
is it
things.
like agenda, some agenda, point of agenda, or I can't remember. Anyway, it is a. It's like
if I'm talking, you got to Google.
Okay.
All right. So it was on the consent agenda.
There you go. I knew it was something like that.
Look at that.
Agenda. So yeah, consent agenda is basically the thing that like they assume that everybody on the council plus the mayor are going to vote for this thing, and so they just don't even waste the city's time by like bringing it to a floor vote. They just go ahead and pass a bunch of things.
However,
yes,
any person can move to remove an item for that for its own discussion and vote.
any person on the council.
Any person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was just
All right. So now,
Yeah.
Stephen Pedantic Stegall.
I am. Yeah.
No, I get it. Just trying to keep us from getting sued. Yeah. Come at us, bitches. We ain't got money. So the idea is that they did that on the consent agenda, and it hurt my feelings.
Yes.
And that goes for all 7 of them.
Yeah.
That was a horrible, it was just a cruel, cruel thing to do. And I am hoping that the next council, whoever it is,
Yeah.
rectifies that.
Yeah.
So I'm still voting for those 3 because public transportation, that's the one that's still getting closer. Because I can tell you, the other 3, under no circumstances, will overturn that ordinance.
The only serious person out of the last three is Parker Mills. Parker Mills he's a lifelong Monrovian. And up to this point, honestly, I think he was just probably a generic Republican, but he has, for whatever reason, has thrown his lot in with Michelle Ball and Dotson, and I guess just wants to ride these coattails in. Heidi Peterson, honestly, other than probably seeing
Pedersen.
her, is it Pedersen?
It's still Pedersen.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just gonna, whatever. Who cares? I mean, I get what you're saying, but this lady is like I won't say anything mean about Heidi. I'm sure she's a very nice person. Probably bakes a mean chocolate pie.
No, she's not. She's friends with Michelle Ball and caucusing with her. She's
So
no.
That's my like go-to line when I don't have anything nice to say about you. It's just like, I'm sure she's a nice person.
Yeah. All right. Well,
yeah.
But they're not.
No, they're not.
So pick a different.
Yeah. So,
I have no opinion about that subject, Your Honor.
well, and it's because we don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
Like she's literally like, I think she just came into this and Michelle was probably looking for another person to put up, and Heidi was the mark that just like, I'll do it, and like, I guess, I don't know, man. I mean, if she gets 150 votes, I'd be, she might get as many as
she's
going to
get exactly.
Yeah.
That's the joke with our elections, is that, you'll see that those three get the same amount across the board. Michelle will probably get more, I would say, than Heidi and Parker.
Well, part of, okay, so this is probably not the forum to do this, but part of,
I would say this is not the forum to do it, and then immediately do it.
Well, yeah, but I'm just probably not the forum.
Oh, okay.
So I just, but part of me wants everybody to kind of like lay off, like going after. I know it's like early in the season and all that other stuff like that, and we're just got to kind of get it out of our system. But the less we talk about Michelle Ball, probably the better. And so, like going on, the What's Up Monroe page and constantly bashing her and stuff like that. There's a time and a place for that shit. But I just don't want to give this lady any more press or like just stature than she deserves.
But I'm going to disagree.
Please.
Because if that is completely counter to what we were saying about Burns, we messed up.
Yeah, no,
years ago by really not pointing out.
I see your point.
All the failings. So, I look. Yeah. I'll agree with one part of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't go on there and call Michelle Ball a cunt, and then hit reply. That's it.
I mean, that's a very appropriate thing to do, but you don't have to do it all the time. Yeah.
But actually talk about her policies, her behavior,
or lack of policies,
her nonsense. Yeah. Talk about real things.
Yeah.
That she does. Well, the only really hurting the city.
The only reason I would say that, like, I don't want to like constantly look at bashing Michelle Ball is because you have a certain element in this country right now, and unfortunately, there are like a lot of people in power right now that are just fucking contrarians.
Yeah,
they just honestly they're like, this person is here with a sledgehammer and is like tearing shit down, and I like that's an appealing factor to a certain segment of the population, and they feel like the more like negative press this person gets, well, they're obviously doing something right. If they're getting all these people, if all these, people hate them, then they're doing something right. So I'm just going to, get this person in there so they can just tear some shit down. Again, that might work at at like a national level, maybe at a state level or something like that. I guess state level, really, it doesn't even work at a state level because you still like, at a state level, you still have certain things you do, but like there are certain figures in national politics that all they do is raise money.
Yeah.
They don't have to pass anything. They don't have to like bring a bill to the chair, to the what do you call it? The
floor.
The floor. Thank you so much. I knew I was getting furniture or something
fucking
like that.
Killing it with floor.
Right, but like I was like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like she is the was anyway. She was the highest like donation getter in the Republican Party at one point, and that's where her value was. And the fact that she was a bombastic person that just went out there and just made a scene and stuff like that, but she never really brought anything to the floor. Like I don't think she even co-sponsored a bill. I could be completely wrong about that.
You are.
Yeah. So, I mean, so again, there's room for people like that at certain levels of politics. Here, we don't need any of that shit. Get the
Right.
fuck out of here with that.
I want 7 votes.
Yeah.
I want 7 people who read the bills and know what's going on. And
Yeah.
we know, because we pay attention to local politics, that if Michelle, Parker, and Heidi get on the council, 3 votes.
Everything,
same every time.
grinds to a halt. Everything.
Well, no, they're going to have 3 votes that are going to be the same every time.
Oh, yeah. Without even
Like
looking
right
at
now, a lot of those votes that we see at the council are 5-2. You know what I mean? Because we have 2 people that refuse to, and
Right.
you used it before, contrarian.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's contrarian. Sometimes it's just being a dick.
If Michelle or Heidi ever read anything, I'd be surprised, but they're damn sure not going to read anything that's coming up for vote. I mean, they're not going to put any time in. It is going to be basically, so if the worst case scenario of Dotson, Michelle, Parker, and Heidi all got in, they're a blank check.
Yeah.
I mean, so Dotson, and for that matter too, another name we haven't really talked about is another citizen in the county that seems to be, in pretty good with David is Ken Deal. And Ken Deal was kicked off of a committee because he was just getting a little bit too big for his britches, from what I understand. But all these people are just going to they're just going to fall in line, and they have no like original thought. They're not going to come in here with any kind of plan. They're ideologues. Or I'm sorry, Parker Mills is not an ideologue. Parker Mills probably does have a certain amount of agenda, and he's somebody who probably, he's a business owner. He's probably got some aspects to him that might be good for Monroe in general. But again, like, they're going to basically do everything that David and his people want him to do. So
Yeah.
Again,
But, there, and again, we've had this conversation once or twice.
Yep.
True believer or full of shit.
Who are we talking about? Parker?
Nope. That was just a rhetorical question to get a conversation going with myself.
Oh, I got you.
This is a perfect example of Michelle Ball is a true believer who may hold things up until they pass an ordinance
Oh, sure. Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
bans drag shows.
It's going to be the close East Frank ordinance.
Right.
It's literally going to be targeting one fucking business.
And you know me, I don't like to go national.
Yeah.
But you brought up Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Marjorie Taylor Greene was a true believer.
Oh, yeah.
And when, Mitch McConnell wanted Republicans to win so that he had control of the Senate and the House and doing all that stuff, and he was able to pass what legislation he wanted to, he didn't give 2 craps about gay marriage.
No.
He didn't give 2 craps about trans people using bathrooms or playing sports or none of that.
Yeah.
So then when Marjorie Taylor Greene gets up there and they're like, all right, you're here. Now you know the secret. We don't actually care about that stuff. That's just how we get into office so that we can pass these other things.
Right, yeah.
She was like, what?
Whoa, hold up now.
And that's why she got out, because she kept trying to pass these social performative nonsense. And they're like, hey, that doesn't really matter.
Well, it was also Epstein, let's be honest. Because that was the straw that broke Campbell.
But again, because she was a true believer, everyone else there is like, we're not going to talk about that. And Michelle Ball is that Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
Where if she gets on there, she's going to be, she's going to be disenfranchised by the fact
completely agree
that was all a performance and nobody else really cares about it. She'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Or she's like, hey guys, I got everyone to fall for the lie and get me into office. Now let's do some real damage.
And I'm not going to disclose, anything too serious here, but we have that same dynamic going on in Union County right now. We have certain people that are like just trying to be serious, I guess, politicians or serve the community and stuff like that. And people like Burns and Michelle Ball are coming in and they're like, hey, you're kind of giving the game away.
Yeah.
Ixnay on the ag dray.
Yeah.
And like, can we just
focus on the taxes and the businesses and,
right.
making
Right.
You know, the government runs smoothly. And,
So these people have already kind of like, shit the bed in certain aspects of like Republican politics in Union County.
Yeah.
They've already worn out their welcome pretty much.
yeah. I mean, and we see that we obviously do not see the Republican Party coming out and supporting these folks. They have to force their way into these meetings.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we've beat that horse. So I'm going to, I get to pick now because I picked the candidate, so I get to pick 2 in a row.
Go right ahead.
That's the game.
Yeah,
That's how we play.
Yep.
All right. I want to, because I think we've been going for quite some time. So
It's about an hour 20, something
yeah.
like that. Yep.
Well, that's just when we turn the cameras on. We did a whole puppet show before we even
did.
hit
That's right.
the record button and started. So
Dance around, jiggle a little bit.
You know, we're not going to share that with you because
Those are for our paid subscribers.
insert a quarter
into the crevice.
to see Kevin and Steven do a puppet show.
Yeah.
All right. So over the past few weeks, Burns is back there,
Hiding. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
pumping himself up, getting
Yeah.
ready for his run. His name can't be out of the news for too long.
Yeah. Eye of the tiger.
Oh, so anyway. So I've been kind of laughing. Now, if you didn't know, I'm kind of like blocked from a lot of his shit.
Oh, yeah, of
so I
course.
can't go
Yeah.
on there. And
Yeah.
honestly, he's not in the race anymore. So I
gives
kind
a
of just like, what a fucking joke.
Yeah.
So, but he's been putting up these little flyers and he's talking about like, here's one that I got. 2 years, real results. Monroe ranked top 10 city for small business in North Carolina,
Yeah.
beating Charlotte and Raleigh. Okay, so here's the question that I want to put out to our listeners, and the phone lines are open.
They really
What?
are. You could call in. Right?
What did Mayor Burns do? I want the name of an ordinance. Right. I want the name of a policy. Hell, I want a speech.
Yeah.
Where he actually pinpoints something that he's done.
It may have been a speech, but it was given by Dodson.
Well, it was written by him anyway. Because I'll tell you, here's the deal. And I know that I'm starting to give away a little bit too much about myself. But you know what? Y'all can find me, all right?
Yeah.
But my job is to get food into a food pantry. And when I'm talking to the boss about this and how much food came into the pantry, and I'm talking about poundages and stuff like that, and he looks at me and he says, how much is that is because of you? Or how much of that would have happened if you weren't here?
Right. It's a good question.
And it's a legitimate question. And I take this very personally because I do. When I track my numbers, I want to make sure I'm only taking credit for the crap that I do.
Well, because this machine existed before you got here, right?
It did.
Yes.
So I'm a dedicated individual who is making sure that we increase and we...
Making sure the machine keeps running. And at the end, by the time you're gone, you have done your part to the machine to make sure the next person that comes in and sits in your position has a good firm position to start from.
And just to be clear, there's not going to be a next person. I'm going to die in that chair.
Right.
Oh, by the way, I have a horrible diet and I drink way too much soda, so it could be tomorrow. I don't know that. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm going to be there in 40 years. No, I'm not. But the idea is that when I look at Burns and his self-promoting, I never see him say, hey, I authored an ordinance called this that did X, Y, Z.
Or even, I led a team that did this.
And I it's all like, so to continue the flyer.
Please do.
He cut red tape.
And I'm sure being the great producer you are, you're going to put this on the screen for everybody.
Oh, yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Protected taxpayers. No, that's a real thing that he put as, look at me.
Like with what? His body?
Seriously,
yeah.
Protected taxpayers.
Yeah. Okay, well, here's the thing. Taxes were raised, right?
Yep. He voted against it.
He voted against it. But they were still raised.
Yeah.
So what the fuck did you do? You voted against something.
He protected taxpayers, though.
That was a fart sound
I don't
from my
think
mouth.
Any I don't think anyone needed that explanation. So yeah, what?
Yeah.
Continuing on, there are two more that I'm going to force you to listen to.
Please do.
Backed local businesses.
Oh, that's a bad one.
So when local businesses were at war
Yes.
with the local farmers, he backed the local businesses and took. I don't know what the fuck does that even mean, man.
I don't know. He had the food trucks like really at his throat at one point.
No, he had the food trucks and the restaurants.
And the restaurants, right? Yeah.
I mean, that was like a lose, lose, lose.
yeah.
You know,
He really fucked that
he
up.
really fucked that up.
He really did.
But
Like-
this goes back to the whole idea of if you were not an empty-headed performer,
Yeah.
you could have led that situation into an amenable
Right.
conclusion.
Not only that, but there was another small business that just happens to sell skateboards
Yes.
that they were like basically targeting their fucking patrons.
No, and the skateboards, and of course, East Frank.
Yeah.
You know, so he doesn't back all local businesses.
Yeah.
But I am glad that he did put this in the past tense, so it's backed local businesses. Now, fuck you.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And then finally, and this is probably
Is this the best one?
this is the best one because this one really pinpoints exactly
Yeah.
what he did.
Right.
Put Monroe first.
Ooh.
All right, Mayor Fuckface.
Jesus
Let's talk about
Christ.
this one for a second because I want to hang on this one for a minute because we watched you travel around the state from conservative convention to conservative convention to conservative convention. Huh? You got
What did he call himself?
North Carolina, NC's mayor. North
Yeah.
Carolina's mayor.
North Carolina's mayor.
All right. So one might say that's a governor,
Yeah.
but but the idea that you're sitting here saying I put Monroe first while you were traveling. You were
Yeah.
out there doing this, you were doing that. You were not here.
Paying people to be their
Hey,
keynote speaker.
You paid $3,000 to not be in Monroe. Come on, man. So anyway, yeah, that's
What a fucking clown.
and okay. So this was hold on a second, January 11th. So he's out of the race, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Monroe is winning, and we're just getting started. Are you though?
Or
I feel like we're on the downhill slide of your tenure here.
yeah, pretty much.
Do you not know what started means?
Yeah, I don't think he does.
That's a big bruise. Okay, so go ahead.
No, it's like I certainly hope that we have seen the last of Robert Burns. I can't imagine that his shtick is going to be, especially like in the post-Trump era, because if everything if history kind of plays out the way it normally does, we're going to see a pretty big shift in who controls at least the House of Representatives. Maybe even at this point, I mean, the way that they've really fucked up royally on pretty much every policy. I mean, Trump is underwater in every single policy. And
Now that is objectively speaking
yes,
and based on information from the nerds.
yes, the nerds.
That's not, editorializing.
No,
That is
not at all. I mean, if you check every metric, and you could even look at like Fox News polls, he is underwater in literally everything. So as long as the elections don't get like tampered with, and we don't slide farther into a fascist regime, the Democrats should take hold of the House of Representatives, maybe even the Senate. And at that point, Trump is not only a lame duck, he might be getting impeached. I mean, but anyway, point being is that at some point this fever has to break, and folks like Robert Burns are going to start to kind of wane and grate on people's nerves, and they're going to see people like him as the cancer that they really are, and the detriment to like progress. And you can see progress, like I'm not talking about progressives. I'm just talking about progress in general of like trying
Whatever
to like, move
issue-
the country forward.
Yeah, whatever issue it is.
Because at this point, we can't function as a society, much less a government. Like we can't function as a society. And so Like, again, people like him are just going to become like, I really, at this point, like at some point, I want people like him to be pointed and laughed at like directly out of the room. He comes into a room, wants to try to speak like he did. You know, we were talking about how he spoke at the MLK event the other day and just like rambled for 7 minutes about what a victim he is. Like at some point, I want people to like just not like, you know, cotton to him and just walk up to him, escort him out of the room and say, we don't have time for you.
I believe that's already happened to him.
Yeah.
A few times. I think we discussed it on an earlier one, the Crime Stoppers event.
Yes. Yeah.
Pat Cale was the keynote speaker.
Or just whatever. I mean, I don't know if you call it a keynote.
Guest speaker. I think it was like
maybe.
guest speaker. Yeah.
Yeah. And he
keynote speaker cost $3,000.
Yeah.
No,
right.
I'm sorry. You know what?
Yeah.
He didn't even pay $3,000 to be the keynote. He paid $3,000 to be the dude who like talks as everyone's walking the fuck out. He went after Ben Carson. Okay. Sorry,
anyway,
off topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, at that event, she was the guest speaker, and he got a case of the red ass and threw a little temper tantrum, and everyone kind of pretty much laughed him out of the room. Like, dude, no,
you're not welcome here. And so, I mean, and then that's the message that we'll leave, you know, with these people is that, you know, you're not fucking welcome here. And I hope. You know, that, you know, I guess my words to God's ears is that, you know, we just finally, as a city, put our foot down and just say, no, you know what, we've got work to do. And you people are, you know,
ridiculous.
Yeah. You people are unserious and it's time to move forward. So anyway, anything else to add, bud?
Yes, I did. I wanted to close out with a line.
Okay. Well, I've got a little bit to read too, but you go right ahead.
All right. I'm going to close out my side with cut red tape, protected taxpayers, back local businesses, and put Monroe first.
All right, here we go, folks. If you've enjoyed this podcast or you found it useful, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode. We have a website. Did you know that, Kevin? We have a website.
I do.
You set it up. ChangeFromMonroe.com. You can send us an email at either Stephen or Kevin at ChangeFromMonroe.com. We love hearing from you, and we read all of your emails, I promise. We reserve the right to read those emails on the air unless you express otherwise. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and I tell you, all except for Twitter, because fuck Elon. And if you or anybody else that you know wants to run our socials for us, we're looking for people to do things like that. So maybe for the last time, I'm not really sure. Maybe one more time, I'm going to say, consume a satchel of Richards, Robert.
I was saying balloons.